of your work culture, or maybe in your student sessions, where you are taken before a psychologist or psychiatrist, it is just because you need to sit with them and you need to open out. Remember one thing, doctors will correct me if I'm wrong, much of these kind of problems will have varied reasons, but much of it will be because of stress related, where you keep your pent up emotions, you keep things suppressed. You perhaps may see somebody coming here with a very happy smiling face, but deep down below, you don't know how much that person suffers in his house, his or her house, or in the family. But they sometimes are those people who will keep others happy. I believe as a lawyer, I hear so many cases, so many sad stories, so many problems of people. Sometimes even if they come for a property dispute, or maybe because they have some service law matter, they will tell me their family matter. I will listen to it. I don't know why, but I do listen to it. I try to give as much counsel as possible. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, but to the best of my ability, I try to counsel them so that we avoid fights, we avoid problems, we can try to resolve issues amicably and without putting them through stress. I've seen youngsters who have high ambitions in life. Sometimes they don't achieve the goals and then they suffer depressions. If you remember, when we went to light this lamp over here, she was lighting the candle, but the candle didn't light on the one matchstick, she had used another matchstick. So don't think life gets over if one matchstick is burnt out. You still have chance for more. And with this, I would urge all of you to follow, cooperate, help our seniors, help the people, help the society to become better. And thus we will help ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for such valuable message and valuable words. I now request Mrs. Applevia Kora to give away the token of appreciation for our honorable chief guest. This token is prepared by the clients, the elderly group clients from Push. So we can progress for the program. As we are getting ready for our keynote speech, let me introduce our keynote speaker today. We have with us Dr. Amit Dias, Assistant Professor at Department of Preventive and Social Medicine at Goa Medical College. But apart from his core duties at DMC, he has worked for the elderly, mainly in the area of Alzheimer's disease. His work has also been recognized internationally
come and speak here. And happy because today is a very happy occasion. Though we are talking about Alzheimer's disease, there is a message of hope. There is a message behind this that says that we can do something for people with dementia. And I'm happy because I've come to Aldona, my place of birth, and I've been here. And also the project that we had started on trying to take care of people with dementia had started off in Aldona. So I'm more than happy to see people be here. I'm more than happy to see children here and children from the school that I had gone to, St. Thomas School. I studied in St. Thomas School with you. So I'm very happy to be here once again and connect with you. But I don't want to take much time because I don't want to be between you and the brilliant film that's going to come. That is Astu. Astu is a movie. So I was asking the children, why did they come here? They said, okay, there is some talk. And what is the talk on? There's some disease. So they didn't know what disease it was, but even if some people told me the name, they didn't know what it was all about. But that's what we are here to do. We are here to help you understand what this condition is and help you know dementia and know Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so what is Alzheimer's disease? What is dementia? This is something that all of you need to know. I was also happy for the fact that everyone on the dais today, they're brilliant people. We had the minister, somebody from politics, and he also happens to be a lawyer, and law is connected with dementia. We have psychiatrists. We have Dr. Dhume, who has been working in this field for so many years. We have people from NGOs. We really miss Peter. Unfortunately, because of his personal reasons, he could not come here and be part of us, but he's really there. And we have people from the psychiatry departments. We have a psychiatrist, we have doctors who make the difference, we have people working from NGOs who make a difference, we have lawyers who make a difference. But the most important people who make a difference for the people with dementia, who are there? It is you all, the caregivers. Okay, so you all are the ones who should be center stage on today. It is not the doctor, it is not the lawyer, it is not people working with NGOs. We are there to help you with it. We are there to support you. But it's the caregivers that make a difference for people with dementia. Next time. And the whole talk is about that. We had a lot of movies on subject was people with dementia. In Hindi movies, all of us love movies, right? And that's what we're here to educate you through the movie. But students, if the mind does not know, the eyes do not see. There's an old saying. If the mind does not know, the eyes will not see. So if you do not know what is dementia, when you see the movie, you wonder why the person is doing that. But now that you know, that we will try to tell you what is dementia, once you know that, when you see the movie, you'll say, oh yes, this is something that we are being told. And you'll be able to connect to that. Okay? You'll be able to connect to the stress that the caregiver is going through while you watch the movie. You'll be able to connect to all the signs and symptoms that have been picked up in the person with dementia. In fact, last year they had a movie screened, it was called The Father. The Father is also an Academy Award winning film, it was won multiple awards. And again, it's on a person with dementia. Many times in the olden days, we had people with dementia in Hindi movies, but it was to make fun of them. An old person who would forget, and everybody would laugh, he would do something strange, and it would be a funny thing. So we have grown up thinking that forgetfulness like this is something funny. Incidents like these would take place in people's houses, but it is not funny. When something like this happens, when somebody forgets, and because they forget, things do not go right. And I'll tell you I'll give some examples to be able to understand this better. Next. So this is Dr. Mohan Agashe. The one who was acting in the movie is Dr. Mohan Agashe. He is not a simple doctor, he is a psychiatrist. And he is acted in the movie. So this movie is perfectly made, exactly it has captured every small detail of what's happening in the life of that person with dementia and in the life of that caregiver. And it is about what Dr. Goan told you about his own grandfather, something similar where a person with dementia gets lost and cannot find his way back, and how in a different environment he thrives. In a different environment, he thrives. If the environment is stressful, then it becomes difficult for that person with dementia to live to his full potential. But if the environment is something that is understanding, then that person will be able to thrive in that. So that's the message of hope that we want to give you. We also want to tell you next, we also want to tell you that dementia is something that can be prevented. Now, when you're talking about people with dementia, I'm teaching in the medical college for the last 22 years. All of them are my students, I'm very happy to see them. When we try to teach medical students, we teach them a word called empathy. Okay? It's not sympathy. It is not like sympathy, it is empathy. Trying to put yourself in that person's shoes and you'll be able to understand that person better. So this is what I want to tell you all to do. When you're dealing with a person with dementia, you need to empathize with that person with dementia. You know, we talk about person-centered care. This is all that we are focusing on, person-centered care. You need to understand that you're dealing not with a disease, but you're dealing with a person. And if you understand you're dealing with a person, you will be able to change the way you deal with that person, and everything else will fall in place. You know, all those behavioral problems, you'll be able to deal with those behavioral problems much better. Now, just imagine yourself, you know that in your house you have a nice window. When you open that window, you'll see your garden, there is some mango trees and all that kind of stuff, and a beautiful thing outside. It is how you have grown up. Now, next page. Now, suddenly, if you open the window and you see, you expect it to be nice morning, you see the birds, you want to see your mango trees, and the mangoes are not there. And those trees only are not there. In fact, you're not even on the ground floor, you're at somewhere on some fifth floor or something, and it's night, it is not even day. So, this is what's happening to a person with dementia. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. They expect something, which is what they remember. But when they go to that place, they don't see what they expected. They wanted things to be in a certain place. Like they will go to a room and they'll think it's the bathroom. But then suddenly they realize that it doesn't seem to be bathroom. There's nothing there that looks like a bathroom. In fact, there are some utensils over here. And I don't know what to do when there's a dustbin. Maybe that's the room. And so sometimes they may use the dustbin as the toilet. These things have happened because they have totally forgotten, and they've forgotten themselves. They disoriented even in their own house. So this is what can happen to a person with dementia. You need to understand why the person did that. So suppose you think of it, okay, the person went to the kitchen and messed up the kitchen. Then you start fighting with the person and say, what is this you're doing? You can't behave yourself. This is not the place. It's totally inappropriate. But if you understand that the person cannot remember, and there are ways by which we can help the person remember which is the way to the bathroom. There are ways and techniques by which you can do that. And that is what the dementia home care project was all about. Trying to understand what was happening to the person, trying to understand what was happening to the caregiver, and tailor-make an intervention which was non-pharmacological. Okay, not too much of drugs. It was tailor-made with non-pharmacological interventions, psychosocial interventions that can help the person cope up much better in improving their life. I'll tell you more about that next. Okay, so the first step in taking care of a person with dementia is taking care of the caregiver. You'll have all gone on the flight and have seen these air hostesses always giving instructions, right? They say that if you have a child and the oxygen level drops and the oxygen mask comes down, who do you put the oxygen mask to first? On yourself. On the child? On yourself first, okay? So you need to make sure that you take care of yourself. So if you do not take care of the caregivers, are not taken care of first, they will not be able to take care of a person with dementia. As simple as that. So if you want to improve the care of a person with dementia, you have to improve the care of the caregivers. The Dementia Home Care Project was focusing on this. First time, and something as simple as the chief guest was mentioning something. He gave a listening ear to people. That is what makes a big difference. That by itself is the intervention. Listening to something, and that's what is not there nowadays. Even children, when you're talking to your grandparents, you're talking to them, but you're playing on your mobile or something or the other. You're listening to some YouTube channel or playing some game, and you may be there, but you're not paying attention to them. Listening is an important intervention which is not happening. I was giving a talk to some senior citizens, and they also came up with this. Very often say this thing: what is happening to the children today? They are there, but then nobody wants to talk to us. We don't have any value. So that is what they find it difficult to connect to. This is normal older people. Imagine if somebody has dementia, it becomes even more difficult. Next. So the first point is to take care of people with dementia. Take care of the caregivers of people with dementia. This is a picture of Alzheimer. Dr. Alzheimer. Early 1900, he was the one who first saw his patient. Her name was Anushka, and she had memory problems. He looked at, once the patient died, 1906 she died, and she gave a brain for research purpose, and he found inside, under the microscope, some abnormal proteins inside. So that is when we realized that this memory problems in older people, that is not a normal part of aging. This is the message I want to take, all of you should take back. Memory problems in older people could be a sign of disease. It is not normal aging. It could be a sign of disease. We all forget, naturally be worried about, and say, okay, when exam, some question comes and we forgot, is that dementia? Is it? Okay? You all think so? This dementia? Some politicians make some promises and then they forget what promises. They could make some pledges and then they forget about it. So is that dementia? No. Then memory, all this forgetting, I forget. So don't worry about that. This is normal forgetfulness. But if you forget to such an extent that you cannot do your everyday activities, आमची विसरप इतले जाता की आमची दिसपट्टी कामां आसा ती आमकां करूंक जायना तेन्ना आमी ताका एक रोग म्हणटा. That's the time we call it a disease. When your forgetfulness is so much to such an extent that you cannot do your everyday activities. Okay, so this is what's happening inside the brain. That is the beta amyloid, and basically these are also something called neurofibrillary tangles. The messages do not go across. Okay, so these old messages that are stored in the brain are there. So the person will talk about old things, but something new that happened, they will not be able to remember. They just had breakfast, they will not be able to remember that they had breakfast. This again, what's happening inside the brain. You all need to be familiar with all the signs of dementia. The first point is, as I think all of you have understood by now, is memory problems in older people. And these memory problems are progressive. Every month it keeps getting worse, every year it keeps getting worse. Okay, so the memory problems are progressive. It's recent memory loss. And it's not that people will come to you and say, okay, doctor, I have memory problems. In fact, if you ask the senior person, do you have a memory problem? No, doctor, I am a teacher, I remember everything, I can take my classes, I have forgotten everything.
नमस्कार. आज 21 सप्टेंबर जागतिक आल्झायमर्स डिजीजाबद्दल आमी आयच्या दिसाक विसरपाचें दुयेंस किंवा स्मरणशक्तीचें दुयेंस जाका आमी डिमेन्शिया म्हणटा हाजे विशीं लोकांक आमी हाजे विशीं एज्युकेट करपाचो प्रयत्न करता. हें दुयेंस 60च्या पिरायेचेर सुरू जाता, केन्ना केन्नाय बेगीन जाता, आनी तें दुयेंस जर तर बेगीन जालें जाल्यार ताका आमी आल्झायमर्स दुयेंस अशें म्हणटा. नॉर्मल जाणटेपणांतलें विसरप आनी डिमेन्शिया ह्या दुयेंसांतून फरक आसा. डिमेन्शियाच्या दुयेंसान मेंदवान मदीं अशे थोड्योश्यो गोश्टी आढळ्ळ्या जेणे करून तें दुयेंस अशें सिद्ध जाता. आनी ह्या दुयेंसाचेर अजून पर्यंत वखद येवना. वखद कित्याक येवना की यादीचें जें मशीन आसा ताका सक्षमता दिवपाक मनशाचे ब्रेनाचेर अशे तरेन रिसर्च करचो पडटलो, पूण तो सद्या जिवीत मनशान संभव ना. म्हणटकीच जे मेडिसीन आमचे कडेन आसा तें जर तर आमी वापरतले जाल्यार डिमेन्शिया खूब पयलीं आमच्या नदरेन येवपाक जाय. आनी डिमेन्शिया जर तर खूब पयलीं नदरेन येवपाक जाय जाल्यार ताजे विशीं जाणविकाय सगळ्यांक आसपाक जाय, जावं धाकट्यांक, जावं भुरग्यांक, जावं मदल्या वयाचेर, जावं जाणट्यांक. सो होच उद्देश असो आमचो आसा की हे 21 सप्टेंबरचो दीस घेवन आमी डिमेन्शिया विशीं सगळ्यांक हे संदेश दिता. डिमेन्शिया म्हणल्यार कितें समजायता आनी डिमेन्शियाचो जो ट्रिटमेंट आसा तो मनशाचो ट्रिटमेंट. म्हणजे हांव सदांच म्हणटा की रिमेंबरींग दोज हू हॅव फॉरगॉटन. ज्या मनशांनी आमचें संगोपन करून आमकां ल्हानाची व्हडली केली ती केन्ना केन्ना दुयेंसा खातीर आपुणूच ल्हान जातात. आपुणूच बाळबुद्देक पावलो रे तूं, बाबा तूं बाळबुद्देक पावलो रे, अशें आमकां आमच्या बापायक आवयक म्हणचें पडटा. कित्याक विसर पडून पडून तांकां सगळ्या तांच्या कामाची विसर पडटा. ज्या कामाचे विसर तांचें नॉर्मल जें काम आसता, न्हांवप, धुवप, खावप, जेवप, न्हिदप, हाजेर असो परिणाम पडटा की हाजेर गुळयो दिल्यार सुद्दां इफेक्ट जायना. कित्याक जो मेंदू आसा तो मेंदूच बारीक जाता. म्हणटकीच हाजेर जाणविकाय निर्माण करूंक जाय, हाजेर शिक्षण करूंक जाय, आनी जे मनीस त्या मनशाक सांबाळ करपाची गरज पडटा, दोळ्यान तेल घालून सांबाळ करपाची गरज पडटा. केन्ना केन्ना मनीस उठून नाच जाता, शेणटा खंयच्या खंय, आपल्या घरान शेणटा, आपलें घर सोदता. खंयचें घर जें भुरगेपणान ताका यादी आसा पळय तें घर. आयच्या ताच्या ह्या विश्व घरान ताका यादी ना, भुरगेपणांची यादी उरना, सुना नातरांची यादी उरना. स्वताच्या बायलेक तो वेगळे नदरेन पळयता की ही कोण बाबा आपल्याक तोंडान कितें तरी घालता, तो थुकता, तो दुकळटा, ताका राग येता, तो घुसपट्टा, तो खंयच्या खंय आपले गोश्टी करता. हाका हें जें दुयेंस आसा हें आयडेंटिफाय करून हाजेर आमचे कडेन येवन सल्लो घेवन ताजेर काम करपाची गरज आसा. आनी त्याच मायेन करपाची गरज आसा ज्या मायेन आमकां ल्हानाची व्हड ताणी केल्ली आसता. तुमी ही जाणविकाय करची आनी आमकां सहभागी करून आमकां हेल्प करून जाणविकाय तुमी घेवची आनी आमच्या जाणट्यांक सांबाळचें.
How serious is this issue?
व्हेरी सिरियस, बिकॉज इफ यू सी सगळ्यान व्हडलो प्रॉब्लेम जावपाचें आहा भारतान. भारताचें पॉप्युलेशन जें आसा तें भारताचें पॉप्युलेशन यंग पॉप्युलेशन आसा. एकदम असो काळ येतलो की सगळेंच पॉप्युलेशन जाणटे जातलें. जेन्ना जाणटे जातले तांकां सांबाळ करपी भुरगे उरतले काय खंय वतले हो प्रश्न आसा. आज हो प्रश्नाचो दिसता अमेरिकेक हांगा थंय तांचे कडेन पयसो आसा, आमचे कडेन तितलो पयसो ना. तांणी घरां बांदल्या, डिमेन्शिया सोसायटीज आसा तांच्या आपआपल्या सोसायटीन जाणट्यांक पळोवपाक डिमेन्शिया घरां बांदल्या. अजून पर्यंत आमचे कडेन नॉर्मल मेंटल दुयेंसां सांबाळपाची शक्ती अजून पर्यंत येवना, कारण आमचे कडेन लोक ना, आमचे कडेन शिक्षीत मनीस ना. ह्या कारणां खातीर आमी शिकवण फुडें घालपाचे प्रयत्न करता. कित्याक हें शिक्षण जर तर आमी फुडें दिना जाल्यार लोक निर्माण जायना, आनी लोक निर्माण जायना जाल्यार सांबाळ निर्माण जावचो ना. सो हें आतां जर तर एक 50 लाख लोक सद्याच्या परिस्थितीन आसा जाल्यार ते 5 कोटी जावपाक आनी एक 5 वर्सां आसा आनी मागीर ते डबल जायत वतले. म्हणून आज आमी आतां तयारी केली जाल्यार आमी 10 वर्सांनी ती गरज पुरी करूंक पावतले. म्हणून हो सिरियस इश्यू आसा. एडिट करा चड बरें.
Goan report.
माचेरा